What's up, YouTube land? WrestleMania 31 is less than a week away, and I'm really jacked up about it. But what really got me pumped up, dudes, is Lou's next toy review, brother. Now, Lou, do you need a code word? Do I need to break the code? Here's a code for you. Chicken neck bone. Does that do it? Did you open the box, dude? Tell me you did, brother. Tell me you did.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah, brother. That's right. WrestleMania 31 is around the corner. But you know what? WrestleMania 31 will have nothing on what we went to, WrestleMania 30. It's not shaping up to be the best of cards, but you know what? It's still going to be something that we're going to get to watch. But let's go on to what we're here for. Today's exclusive. Yes, brother, you asked for it. I did not want to open it, but you made me do it. I am going to open up my Jetfire, Henkei exclusive to 2013 Cybertron. Cybertron is a convention held out there in Asia, but you know what? I really didn't want to open it, but you challenged me to it, and you know what? I'm not one to back down from a challenge, brother. So anyway, let's get to this. Now, I'm not too big on showing off the boxes of my toys. However, I decided to make an exception in this case. Not because it's cool or overly dramatic, but because it is very unique. Just take a look at all that blue hue splattered all across the box itself. There's not even a hint of black on the letters. That being said, the box is suitable for showing off Jetfire with this large window up in front. There is also another smaller window up on top. Now, the box is in English for the most part, with some Asian lettering all on the logo itself. Matter of fact, a little history of Jetfire and the technical data sheet is all in English. Now that we see a little bit about the box, let's move on to Jetfire itself. Opening up the box exposes what's inside. First, we have the manual, which is in 2 different languages. And then, of course, we have Jetfire itself, additional helmet, the jetpack, and armaments. And here is Jetfire, posed, fully loaded, and ready for battle. And he is a pretty good looking figure. As you can see, he has plenty of armaments on him, complete with the cannons up on top. These 2 cannons are actually movable and can be placed in the upright position, if you so wish. The missiles are actually launchable. The gun in his hand can actually be pulled apart, so that way you can put it in each of his hands. Now, he has a lot of articulation on him. You can see right here around the knee joint area, not only does it swivel, but it also bends and ratchets. Very solid, good feel to it. The feet obviously close, and obviously that's meant for the transformation. But it allows it to be open, so that way it's more easily held upright on his own. His hands, his wrists move, his fingers do not open. Nothing there. However, wrists do move. You also have hinges, basically, on his waist area. You also can swivel around the forearm. And, of course, you also have the head, which moves up and down a little bit and side to side. Now, obviously, there's other moving parts on this figure, and that's meant for the transformation of the figure. Now, the interesting part is you notice you have an Autobot symbol directly in front. Looks awesome. You flip this thing around, and you can see the Decepticon logos right there. And this is why I really wanted this figure, because of the dual logos on it. Now, I will transform this beast, and we will see what he looks like in plane mode shortly after this message. Take it away, Al.
My new cake mix.
We have the power on. All right.
And it's so delicious.
I think we're getting through, Captain. What year? 1987, I think. Try it. Hello. To anybody watching, this is Captain Power. Jonathan Power. Do you read? We have a situation here. The year is 2147. Human life is threatened by biodreads. They follow a Lord Dread. I need your help. I have instructions. Please pay attention. Weekly program transmissions on TV begin September. If you have the power jet XT7, the XT7, you can fire invisible beams at enemy targets on these transmissions. Score or be hit. Warning, the TV show will fire back. It will fire back. Score or be hit. Do you understand? The power of the future is in your hands. My next message is September 9th. Come in. Is anybody there? This is Captain Power. Captain...
And welcome back. Did that commercial bring back any fond memories for you? I know it sure did for me. Anyway, here we have Jetfire transformed into his super vehicle mode, and it did not take long at all to do it. The transformation process is not difficult at all, and all the moving parts felt pretty solid, which relieved me of any concern that it was gonna break. In his super vehicle mode, the twin turbo packs are proudly displayed atop of Jetfire with the large cannons pointed forward, and his body has this nice swooped look to it. The rear vertical stabilizers are lowered, and the main wings are swept back. In this mode, the dual logos are prevalent, with the Decepticon logos displayed on each of the wings, and the Autobot logo centered over the cockpit. Now this is one of his two vehicle modes. To transform him to his regular vehicle mode, it's quite simple. We just need to remove his turbo packs and reconfigure his wings. The first thing we do is we pull back the rear of the pack and lower the cannon into the crevice and close it back up. We do that a second time, and the pack is ready to be removed. Like so. Now, you may ask yourself, well, why didn't you just remove it on its own? Well, doggone it, it's a transformer, and I want to be able to transform every single little bit and piece of this thing. Anyway, finally, we just have to lift up the vertical stabilizers in the back. And then open up the wings, the main wings, and there you have it, Jetfire in his regular vehicle mode. Now, while it is a fun figure to transform, it is important to note that the nose cone of the aircraft does not line up completely flush, which may annoy some collectors. This is a little bit more annoying because, well, let's face it, the nose cone area is not exactly the most streamlined version of Jetfire out there. As a matter of fact, this nose cone has kind of a square and retro look to it, which doesn't match the rest of the aircraft. Now, there is a Generations figure currently on the market for about $75 out there that does have a more modern look to it. In addition to this, there are some paint discrepancies that can be found on the figure, as the red paint seems to have some faint bleeding into the mold in some parts of the figure. Here are some photos of those discrepancies. Now, while there are some flaws associated with the figure, the positives of this Jetfire version is that it is solidly constructed with ratcheting joints and a heavy feel to it. Robot mode looks great, and he comes with lots of weaponry. However, for me the biggest selling point is having a fully licensed Transformer that sports both the Autobot and Decepticons logos. How cool is that? Now, I don't claim to be an expert in all things Transformers, so let us ask you, are there any other fully licensed Transformers out there that sport both logos on one figure? Al and I look forward to hearing your responses. And until then, keep collecting what makes you happy and display it proudly. Al, now take that smirk off your face for making me break out my Jetfire out of its box and close up this show.
Come on now, brother. Now you know you wanted to release Jetfire from his box, and we got to do it right before WrestleMania 31. Now, I can't remember what I'm supposed to do at this point. Oh wait, I remember. Hi guys, you remember those game watches from back in the day? They were so cool. My favorite was Qbert. I loved that watch. In fact, I have mine on right now. You guys remember?